couch looks good, so I feel good. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're having a good day today. I'm having a good day. It's sunny. I get to talk to you guys again, so this is pretty fun. This is a show where I ask you all to inbox me questions, ask for advice, or just general stories of your life, and I read them into the camera here, and then we talk about it. We discuss it. I hope you've noticed that I've been consistent, so that's nice. That's something that I haven't been on YouTube. Okay, let's read the inbox. How can I push past imposter syndrome? I won't start anything unless I know for sure it'll be great. It's keeping me from living my life and creating things. Imposter syndrome. The persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved. Okay, let's talk about imposter syndrome here first. I think that has a lot to do with your self-confidence. I think it's important to discern that hard work can manifest itself in different ways, right? So hard work in the physical sense, and then hard work in the mental and I guess sort of emotional sense. Sometimes the goal you're trying to achieve only requires one of those. So if you don't put in necessarily the hard work physically, maybe you think that you don't deserve it, but you have to understand that you put in the mental effort. In order to avoid imposter syndrome, you have to realize what you're giving to the world. Okay, what you do matters, no matter what you do. I think society looks a lot less like a pyramid than it does a web, right? Or maybe even a circle. We're all doing a role that's keeping it moving. What you do is important. So the reward that you're getting for that thing, you deserve it. No matter what you do, you're an integral part of keeping society running smoothly, and that's important. A huge part of me felt as though I didn't deserve the success that I was getting on social media, and I think that has to do with the nature of my content. I have conversations with people, and I'm not necessarily the main character in the videos that I make. So for a long time, there was a duality where I thought maybe I should just stop making content in general. But two things happened to me that I think really helped me out, knowing that there was an intrinsic value to what I did and an extrinsic value. So intrinsically, I was so happy that I was talking to these people. Extrinsically, millions of people were writing in the comments or DMing me, telling me how much the story was helping them in their life. I think that overall, I was understating the value that I had in the conversation. I see a lot of man on the street interviews, and the one thing I notice is that a lot of the times the people recording don't care. They just want a reaction. Most times they're not even trying to be nice. But even the ones that are trying to be nice, a lot of times they come off as disingenuous. For me, I know in my heart of hearts that I just want to listen to people. I just want to talk and have a conversation. I've been loving conversation since I was a little kid. Learning people's stories has just been pertinent in who I am as a person. It transferred over when I was a nurse too. I'm not the smartest nurse by any means, but I love listening to people. I love being an ear for them to talk to. I love being a shoulder for them to cry on. That was my biggest suit as a nurse. And I'm really just transferring that skill and using it in the content that I make. But I wasn't able to see that at first. I just thought it didn't matter and that I happened to luck into this situation. But when I examined it further, I realized that this wasn't really luck. It was me intentionally being nice and listening to people and having a conversation. And because I had good intentions, I was getting good things back. So I think you can avoid imposter syndrome by having true intentions to yourself and realizing that what you do is important. Now, the second part of that question, you said, I won't start anything unless I know for sure it will be great. It's keeping me from living my life and creating things. Now, this one is a very common problem I think a lot of people have. You, my friend, and I can say this because I suffer from it too, are suffering from perfection paralysis, and it is a very dangerous thing. It's certainly not the right way of looking at things, and let me try to encapsulate it for you. You want to make something. You say you want to create. I don't know what you want to create, but I can assume it's something. If that is your passion, to make something, to create art or to create something that can help somebody, you owe it to the world to make that thing. And it doesn't need to be perfect because it's not going to be. There's going to be iterations. And you're going to make something and then 10 years later look back on it and laugh about what it looked like at the time. I say that because whenever you do something that makes you happy, that makes you a better person, you're going to better everyone around you. And a society and a world operate better whenever every single person is emboldening those around them. So, of course, yes, you owe it to yourself. Right? Like you deserve happiness. You deserve to pursue endeavors that bring you happiness, but you owe it to the world as well. Think of it like this. You can create something that can help thousands, maybe millions of people, or you can keep it in your head and you never realize it. And those thousands to millions of people never get the help they need. I'm not saying the burden rests on you, but what I am saying is that you owe it to yourself and you owe it to those around you to realize these dreams and understand that the first iteration is not going to be the best. My first videos were terrible. I enjoy them, but I do understand that there is a cringe value to them. And that's because I was finding out who I was. I was figuring out how I wanted to edit. I was figuring out how I wanted to talk. I was figuring out how I wanted to put videos together. Now I sort of understand what I want to do, and I'm still building on that. I love YouTube, and I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. I've always been very scared to make YouTube videos, and that's why I didn't. That's why I'm on every single platform except for YouTube. But I decided that I'm just going to make them. Okay, now I'm assuming 2, 3 years from now, I'm going to look back at this video and say, oh yeah, I wish I would have done this a little better. But the truth of the matter is, I'm just happy I started it. And lastly, also understand that something that's deemed perfect for you might not be deemed perfect for someone else. Maybe that unpolished thing that you produced that you thought wasn't great and that you didn't want to put out because it wasn't perfect really helped someone. And it really helping someone, that matters. So my friend, you owe it to yourself, but above all, you owe it to the world to start creating. So create that thing you want, and I promise you it's not going to be perfect. And I promise you a few years from now, you're going to look back and say, oh, I think that was maybe a little cringy. You're going to thank yourself later, because where you're going to be can't happen unless you start. That's all for this video. I hope I was able to help the person that wrote the question. And I hope that I was also able to help anyone watching this. Also, let me know, is there anything you want me to do with this video more? Do you want me to add music? Just let me know. This is fun. I like making these, and keep sending me messages, keep sending me inboxes, and I'll be sure to read them. So see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.